Don't Let Go, written by Spiciness, on Tumblr. Whose bright idea was this anyway? And why did you let them drag you along? You stood in line with the rest of your classmates at the entrance of a haunted house. The attraction was set up in town for the week of Halloween, and all of Class 1A insisted on partaking in some spooky fun. All except for you. You tried making up a few basic excuses as to why you couldn't go. Needing to study, needing to do laundry, feeling tired, but your friends were having absolutely none of it. You didn't want to admit to your classmates that you were a huge wimp when it came to stuff like this. Scary movies, gore, ghosts, zombies, clowns, creepy crawlers, even just being in the dark scared the pants off of you. You were a young adult now, and a future hero no less. You weren't supposed to be frightened by stuff like this. It was actually pretty ironic, considering that you've been able to keep your cool when face to face with real terrifying villains in the past. You chanted over and over in your mind to be strong, to take this in stride like you do against real danger. You needed to be brave and strong, an unwavering pillar of justice, like your teacher, All Might. Fearless like everyone else in Class 1A. But unfortunately, your positive affirmations simply weren't working. You were a complete, utter chicken. You waited near the front gates of the haunted house, all the other teens talking excitedly amongst themselves, nearly vibrating with anticipation. You stood in the back, on the outskirts of your class huddle, staring at your shoes as you wrapped your arms around yourself for comfort. Time moved all too fast as your group continued moving quickly through the line. You repeated positive thoughts over and over, until BOO! You were so lost in your own mind that when Kirishima jumped out from behind a nearby tree to spook you, you stumbled backwards, shrieking. Your face flushed deeply as you came to your senses. Holding a hand over your heart, you silently willed it to slow down. Kirishima laughed at your priceless reaction, ruffling your hair as you jokingly pushed him away, doing your best to return his grin with a wobbly smile. After that, you were even more on edge as your group closed in on the ominous-looking haunted house, now next in line. You became hyper-aware of everything around you, constantly looking over your shoulder to watch out for any more pranks. You took in a couple of deep, calming breaths, trying to prepare yourself for what was about to come. You were absolutely dreading this experience. You nervously played with the sleeve of your coat, trying not to acknowledge the slight tremble in your knees. All you could do was hope your friends didn't think less of you after tonight, because you were about to turn into a freaked out mess. You felt a gentle touch on your shoulder, and you jumped slightly at the unexpected contact. Looking up from the ground, you stared into a pair of deep green eyes. Midoriya's hand squeezed your shoulder lightly, his eyes searching yours before speaking.
Hey, are you alright?
Of course, Midoriya would notice your nervousness. He was incredibly observant after all. Swallowing thickly, you scanned over his freckled face. The corners of his eyes crinkled slightly from his soft smile. His mop of wavy green locks tousled slightly from the chilly breeze. You nodded and smiled weakly in response, but Midoriya sensed your obvious hesitation. Fortunately for you, he didn't say anything else, letting his hand fall away from your shoulder. The sun had set some time ago, the full moon illuminating the black sky. The late October wind blew across your cheeks and through your hair, sending shivers down your spine. You rubbed your upper arms with your hands, trying to quell the goosebumps spreading across your limbs.
Oh, here,
Midoriya stuttered, quickly removing his thick scarf and wrapping it around your neck. Your neck and ears felt an instant relief. You mumbled a thanks, wrapping the fabric around you tighter. It was almost as if his scent were woven into the fiber itself. It reminded you of sunshine and happiness. You were starting to feel a bit better. Midoriya's presence a calming influence. Looking back in the direction of the haunted house, you noticed the rest of your classmates had mysteriously disappeared.
Huh. They must have gone ahead without us.
Midoriya offered with a shrug, starting towards the house.
Guess it's just you and me.
You gulped, forcing your legs to move forward towards your living nightmare. As you caught up to Midoriya and approached the wrought iron gates, your feet became lost amongst the faux fog from the smoke machines. You could see multicolored lights coming from within the house, though the curtain of smoke blocked you from seeing much else. You heard strange cackling, the loud rumbling of chainsaws, and the occasional blood-curdling scream. You were starting to panic all over again. Taking in a shaky breath, you looked up at Midoriya expectantly.
Midoriya?
You said in a small voice. I'm scared. He looked down at you, another sweet smile gracing his features.
That's alright. I'm a little scared too. But it's gonna be okay. Really, I promise,
he assured you.
But how? You're like never scared of anything. Unlike me, I am a total baby about the stupidest things,
you said dejectedly.
That's not true. Even the best heroes get scared sometimes. You just have to face up to your fears with a smile. All Might told me that himself,
Midoriya said, eyes sparkling brightly. You couldn't help the genuine smile that broke through your lips. Midoriya always knew just what to say. Feeling a bit more confident, you finally began to relax thanks to Midoriya's soothing company. You reached forward, pushing the creaky iron gate open, staring your destiny right in the eye. You were about to cross the threshold when you heard a low mumble coming from your green-haired companion.
Huh?
You asked, looking up at him. He squeaked and started sweating bullets, fidgeting around nervously while scratching the back of his head.
I said, you can hold my hand if you do get scared.
Midoriya barely choked out, blushing profusely. You swooned, heart beating fast at the thought. Midoriya was such a gentleman, a true hero. You reached over and picked up his trembling hand in yours. You laced your fingers together. The way your hands fit together perfectly did not go unnoticed by either of you.
Just don't let go, okay?
You said, giving his hand a squeeze as you proceeded side by side into the haunted house.
I won't. I'll be right here.